For over 3 decades, Anambra State was an epicenter of crime. Vicious kidnappers, cutthroat armed robbers, child traffickers, and psychotic drug dealers had the entire state on a lockdown. The once beautiful Upper Iweka with its crossroads appeal suddenly assumed the unofficial crime capital of the southeast region, while the ancient city of Onitsha became the face of everything that was bad and ugly with Igbo land. A gale of successive crime waves occasionally swept through the commercial city of Onitsha like a bad breath. From Boys Oye to the dreaded Bakassi Boys, down to the iron reign of Deriko Nwamama, Anambra was a prototype of a dysfunctional society that no one wanted to visit. Businessmen and women, as well as investors, fled the state in droves. In fact, the situation got out of hand when an incumbent governor was kidnapped.
Hello?
I came here at the mega station to take fuel. All in a sudden, there was holy ball everywhere. Every person was running away, running helter-skelter. I lay down, prostrated under my car.
What happened is that we were in the queue to buy fuel, and then one Jeep Sequoia black and one other 2 vehicles passed by, and they were opening fire, and without any protection, and everybody was on run.
The armed robbers, they came along this place shooting indiscriminately, and so many people were wounded. They were moving freely on the express road with 3 vehicles, 2 jeep, even 4 or 5 of them, 3 buses and 2 jeep, firing heavy machine guns, and there was no challenge. God so kind, we all ran into the bush.
All these happened before the governor of Anambra State, His Excellency Chief Willie Obiano, took the oath of office on March 17, 2014. In keeping with the promise in his inaugural address, Governor Obiano did not waste time to roll out his security blueprint for Anambra State.
In the area of security, Anambra will be different under my watch. Not only shall we redraft the operational model of the entire security apparatus of Anambra State to ensure a lightning quick response, we shall also reorient our people to see that every citizen has a role to play in the security of our community. The concept of community policing, or what is better known as vigilante groups, has worked well in Anambra. The next challenge, however, is to retrain, re-equip, refocus them to meet the dynamics of our time. Along the same line, we will strengthen the police and law enforcement agencies in the state to enhance their efficiency and response to distress calls.
The first State Security Council meeting, chaired by the governor on his second day in office, cast a beam of light on the complexities of the challenges of security in Anambra State. Here, the governor presented his vision and commitment towards a safe Anambra.
We have said and said severally that there's no room for any criminal in Anambra. We are going to go after everybody, and we are going to arrest, detain, prosecute, convict where the court does allow, all the criminals that are there. We are donating many more patrol vehicles, that will be patrolling all the streets in Anambra on 24-hour basis. We are also digging in at major former trouble spots to ensure that the criminals will not come back.
Barely 3 weeks after his inauguration, Governor Obiano convened a security summit anchored on the theme, Security, the Panacea for Economic Development. Headlined by Moshe Kanon, a world-famous Israeli security expert, it was from this effort that a new security architecture was fashioned out for Anambra State, which led to the formation of Operation Ochapu, a highly trained, re-equipped and well-motivated task force which comprises of the Army, Navy, Police, NDLEA and other relevant security outfits in the state.
He too has created an enabling environment for all the security agencies to come together, created an enabling environment for all the security chiefs to rub minds, to sit down, to brainstorm and to exchange information and to work out modalities of how we are going to go about fighting crime. If we have challenges, we all sit down together, we all collaborate, we cooperate and we synergize and we collectively tackle crime in the state. That has gone a long way to help create this impression, and a right impression too, that Anambra is the safest state in the country.
To beef up security in the rural areas, the state's community vigilante law was reviewed, which led to the creation of community security committees in each of the 178 communities in the state, with its traditional ruler as chairman.
One fundamental step he took, which maybe only the traditional rulers may recognize, is the fact that he spearheaded the amendment of the vigilante law, the state vigilante law, which hitherto was a bit confused in terms of who is the primary authority in the community. And the amendment was very unequivocal that the traditional ruler is the first and foremost, and he is the primary authority in the community. And as such, he becomes the chairman of the vigilante committee, and everything else revolves around him. The traditional ruler is not the sole authority because he leads a community and he has to work with his community. But the recognition that he is at the forefront and he is the leader was very important. And I think it was through his intervention that that amendment was carried out. And that law also has created a state environmental, a state vigilante committee, which again hadn't existed before then. And the vigilante committee is a statewide basis, but is operating at the local level. So each community has its own vigilante committee, of which the traditional ruler is the chairman. And it's part and parcel of the overall security arrangement in the state, which has been applauded all over the country.
The vigilantes work hand in hand with the police, Operation Ochapu, and other security outfits in the state to provide watertight protection for lives and property in the state.
So what we are doing, as a matter of fact, has to do with complementary role. We are complementing the efforts of the security agencies, that's the state actors, the police and the SSS and the military. And essentially, police force plays a supervisory role. There is no way we can operate without the police. So the vigilante law is very, very clear about that. We collaborate with the police in most things we are doing, and they supervise all our operations. And that is why I would say we are really different in the state.
Having been included into the state security framework by Governor Obiano, the NDLEA is now better positioned using the state's information gathering network to crack down on the people who trade in illicit drugs.
Armed robbery, drugs. Kidnapping, drugs. Rape, drugs. Even those who do 419, drugs. Prostitution, drugs. Murderers, drugs. Just name it. There's no crime. There's no crime that is being committed that is not associated, that does not have element of drugs. So to me, the admission of the command into the Security Council by the governor made me see him as somebody who was determined to confront the issue of insecurity. Because if you exclude drugs, if you exclude NDLA from Security Council, then you are not yet ready to fight crime and criminality.
And in no time, the results of the governor's drive to rid Anambra of criminals became evident. Kidnapping ring, armed robbery gangs and drug syndicates were smashed. Forgers of vehicle number plates and child traffickers have been arrested. To serve as a deterrent, Governor Obiano invoked the necessary laws that empowers the state to impound properties that were acquired from the proceeds of ransom monies paid to kidnappers. Upon his directive, bulldozers move in and pull these buildings to the ground. This served as loud warning to the underworld that truly a new sheriff has come to town. Governor Obiano reclaimed the once dreaded Opiweka, which used to be the crime capital of the southeast, and turned it into a garden of peace.
Okachasi Opiweka no ko obodo doro obo otu odiri before ko de kita no so mere Opiweka bia juo oyi dem ma ofuma.
It's what like this before. Yes. That's why I said he's a man of his words. People were so frightened within this environment. But from the time he got into that seat, it was a very big difference. Yes, in terms of security.
He also cleaned the entire state and quickly repositioned Anambra as Nigeria's safest state. Now, in Anambra State, a new sense of freedom reigns among the people. Residents of the three major cities of Onitsha, Nnewi and Awka, and all other communities feel totally free to go to sleep with both eyes closed. This accounts for the sharp rise in economic and social activities witnessed in the state in recent times. Organizing a roadshow to tighten his grip on the security situation in the state, Obiano convened security fundraising gala nights in Awka, Lagos, and Abuja, where the Anambra turned out in their numbers from the professional cadre to captains of industry who were shown his exploits in securing Anambra State and presented with his vision to create a peaceful, safe, and secure atmosphere that would make the state attractive to investors. As is in character with his passionate drive for excellence, Governor Obiano did not rest on his oars after imposing himself on the security situation in Anambra State. He took the battle beyond the state and turned it into a regional agenda. He did that when he convened a regional security summit involving the 4 other states in the Southeast and Delta State. All the governors of the southeastern states and Delta State heeded his call for this all-important discourse. Also present were top national security operatives. Together, they judged on ways to stem the tide of regional criminality, as miscreants and criminals had fled Anambra to seek refuge in the neighboring states, and there was the need to ensure that neighboring states do not harbor such hoodlums, as it would impact negatively on the region's economy.
I think that it is very, very welcoming that he has invited us to this summit, because I know that in combating crime we need to talk together. I know that we need to discuss our problems, and that is why it's very, very important that we actually take this summit very seriously. Security is the bedrock of governance. There's not much you can do in governance without ensuring that there is peace. There's not much you can do when there is crisis in your state or in your various communities. I believe that by bringing the security agencies together first, and then bringing the public, the leadership of the communities as represented by our traditional rulers, we are taking a step in the right direction.
To boost effectiveness of the Nigerian police and further enhance security in the state, Governor Obiano donated 25 new specially equipped crime-fighting vehicles, special kits, speed guns to the Nigeria police to wage an all-out war against criminals.
Yes, of course, you know, and everybody knows that police needs equipment and all the necessary tools to perform their duties. And Anambra's command is very blessed with that, with the contribution from the governor of the state. Of recent, he has given us motorcycles. If you must also have noticed our boys on motorcycles patrolling the streets and all that. So it's a very unique state. We are just like a state in the United States of America. We have all that it takes to fight crime and criminality, thanks to the governor of the state. And like I've always said, to whom much is given, much must be expected. So we expect Anambra people to demand from us that we protect them, we create an enabling environment for them to go about their peaceful duties and businesses. And we also expect them to demand from us that they should and must sleep with their 2 eyes closed, always.
The patrol cars can be seen parked in strategic locations throughout the state, day and night, ready to respond to a distress call from every corner of the state.
2:30 to 3 a.m., the governor called me, the commissioner of police in Anambra State, and he complained that they had just snatched a handbag belonging to a lady at Opaiweka. That is to show you the passion that the governor has for security. And so, I can assure you that the government and the governor of this state have created the enabling environment for me to perform my duties. Because what I see in the governor is an embodiment of passion for fighting crime and criminalities. And as a commissioner of police, I have no option than to do that.
Anambra is blessed with magnificent rivers and lakes that lead into other states. Obiano saw the need to secure Anambra from the incidents of robbers who use the waterways to launch attacks. Collaborating with the Nigerian Navy in Onitsha on security of the waterways, the Obiano administration donated a high-speed, well-equipped gunboat to the Nigerian Naval Outpost in Onitsha, so the Navy would be better equipped to tackle the menace of criminals who use the waterways in the state to carry out their nefarious activities.
We are integrated into the state internal security outfit, Operation Pochaku, and jointly or with other security agencies, we aid the civil authority or the civil power in ensuring law and order and the security of the states. The outpost embark on aggressive patrols both the waterways and on land. And these patrols, particularly in the waterways, are in form of fixed station patrols, where we station our boats at different observation posts and points, and stop and search. And this has yielded positive results. State government has been very, very supportive, and the outpost owes its gratitude to the state government and the good people of Anambra State for the support and hospitality which have greatly assisted in carrying out its duties.
Periodically, the governor also employs the use of a helicopter from the Nigeria Police for the aerial surveillance of the state. As it hovers over the skies of Anambra, it reinforces the people's new sense of safety. While the Anambra go about their daily businesses, they are oblivious of the fact that the Obiano-led administration has a 24-hour surveillance team in the state looking out for criminals who from time to time test the resolve of the Obiano administration's security arrangement.
Every year-end, Obiano retools his security architecture and revs up the engine of his powerful security machinery that has turned the Anambra profile from zero to hero overnight.
A few days to the 2018 Easter celebrations, he donated the 40 brand new trucks produced by the Anambra-based vehicle manufacturing company Innocent to the security agencies in the states. These trucks that are equipped with sophisticated communication gadgets were distributed among the Army, Police, Navy, Civil Defense, and the Ocha Brigade. Some areas that are expected to be secured using these vehicles include student residential areas and nightclub locations.
And I want to confirm that Anambra is the greatest among the artists. And Ghana achieved this if not Governor who is the Secretary of State, and coupled with the military, the police, and other security agencies. I want to position these vehicles as a symbol of that force, and I want to ask other governors to please relate this case so that we can move forward to our revolution. Thank you. I therefore promise the glory of God and the service of humanity.
It had all the trapping of the opening sequence of a war. And yes, it is a war. This is a war against the underworld. It is a war against crime and criminality in Anambra State. And His Excellency, Governor Willie Obiano, is leading this charge from the front. At Ekulobia in Agwata local government area, where he pulled all the stops to remind the underworld that the big sheriff is still in town and firmly in charge, and send a loud signal to criminal elements that it was game over for them. Kicking off the event formally, Governor Obiano began by recalling the exploits of gallant officers and men of the force who put up extraordinary efforts on their duty posts to ensure that Anambra remains Nigeria's safest state. He also acknowledged their gallantry and rewarded their efforts with weighty handshakes in the overall efforts to keep Anambra free from crime.
Every year we appreciate gallant men, irrespective of the arm of the force they are coming from, or our gallant men and women that distinguish themselves. This is to motivate them to do more and to encourage others that have not been able to win this coveted prize, which goes with cash award too, to work harder.
Indeed, Governor Obiano's resolve to crush crime out of Anambra State is almost exceptional. Governor Obiano rolled out 50 special motorbikes for the police motorbike squad in a grand style.
It means His Excellency improves on this. Can you put your hands together for His Excellency?
Making a brief presentation, Obiano commissioned the motorbikes for immediate use by the special motorbike squad.
It is my pleasure to commission these special smart bikes. So it's really my pleasure to commission this additional 50 and urge the police to use it effectively to police the Anambra people. So on this note, I would like the AIG to personally make this presentation to his men that are doing this great job. Congratulations once more.
Today, Anambra State is not only adjudged to be the safest state in Nigeria, but Obiano's security manual has become the most sought-after document by other states in Nigeria.
We know that before this dispensation, Anambra used to be a place where people were afraid to go. But presently, I am happy to say that Anambra State suddenly has become the center of peace and tranquility. Today, Onitsha, that used to be a very tough place for visitors, has a 24-hour life. Kidnapping is gone, robbery is gone out of Anambra State, peace has returned to the extent that Anambra is now the highest receiver of foreign direct investment in the whole southeast of Nigeria, and maybe one of the highest in the country. Presently, its program security is the best in the country. I have not seen any state that has transformed from such difficulties onto, such glory in terms of peace. And without peace, you can't develop.
And I recommend Anambra as a model for northern Nigeria. Each of the states in the north and other parts of the country have security challenges. They need to come and study the Obiano formula. Obiano formula, a leader that is serious and will not tolerate misfeasance, will not tolerate indiscipline and insecurity in his state, because he knows that when that creeps in, you can say bye-bye to development.
All things considered, the story of the new Anambra state under the competent leadership of Chief Willie Obiano is the story of a rose that has grown from his concrete, well-thought-out security blueprint. It is a story of resilience, focus, and determination. But it is also a story of triumph, as Anambra completes a 180 degrees journey from the cesspit of crime and criminality to the beacon of light on a hill, spraying dazzling rays across the landscape to attract investors, fun lovers, and chroniclers of history to her many commercial cities and tourism treasures.